Good afternoon, everyone. Steve Georgia here from Allendale's Trading Floor. It's July 6th, giving you your market wrap-up for this evening. Corn dropped back today, down about 16. Beans down 20, with wheat pulling back the most, down about 30 cents. So even though we were down today, corn still rallying this week, 57 cents. Beans are up 78 cents for the week, with wheat gaining about 46. So today, profit taking was the big reason. Export sales coming out in corn very weak, as we mentioned this morning. But still, guys are expecting. I've heard a lot of talk today about the expectations of good to excellent ratings declining yet again next week. It's very hard to think that we're going to see USDA adjust good to excellent ratings higher next week with the heat that we've seen over the last week, the lack of rain that we've seen, and everything else. So we're currently sitting at 48% good to excellent, and it's very hard to see us improve that. We've been dropping back 7 to 8% over the last 3 weeks, so we'll see what happens there. But that may give us a little support over the weekend. As we continue to mention weather, you look at some of these models that came out here today at midday. You got your 1 week forecast, your GFS models, the U.S. models here, are showing a little more rain for southeast Missouri through southern Illinois for Sunday into Monday. So we're looking for some totals there of about quarter of an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. But we'll see how much rain we could end up getting. But at least there's some relief for those areas. Other areas, there's not much really forecasted at this point. The second week, so looking into the second week forecast, they've warmed things up. They've taken some of the rain out for certain areas through the Midwest, so warmer and drier. That's not what we need to see here if we're going to see this market pull back some. So I've heard a lot of comparisons today about 1988. So we've heard about this. We've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. 1988, we did top out on July 5th. Yesterday, we've put a spike high in yesterday. But who's to say that's going to be it yet? In 1988, we did get some rain on July 5th that ended up pulling the market back. We haven't gotten the rains yet. So that's one thing. Not only that, we saw a sharp decline here because of the rains in 1988. We had good to excellent ratings sitting at about 28%. The very next week, they came out at 12%, and the market rallied sharply, and brought us almost back to those highs once again. And then the rains continued. Well, we don't have that. As we just mentioned, the 1 to 2 week forecast is still hot and dry for the most part. So we'll see if we do get some of these rains come in. But that's going to be, I think, the biggest decision that we need, or the biggest market mover that we need to continue to watch. Yes, these funds are long the grains, and watching these outside markets continue to break. We know corn, the demand for corn continues to break back right now. Ethanol numbers, that's big right now. We're seeing ethanol slide back. We've seen now talks of export sales. Export sales, once again, poor today. What's going to happen here if we continue to see livestock chop around, yet with corn rallying? It's going to be tough to really make these break-evens. So, there's a lot of things right now, this $7 corn that we need to be cautious of. But then again, if this weather and this rain if we don't see the rain, that's going to bring us back to the upside yet and still give us some strength here as we go into the next week. Looking at some of these outside markets, the dollar 62 cents higher today with crude oil breaking back more than $3. So I just heard a guy say just a little bit ago we made another low here, so we might be down a little more than $3 right now. But 84.15. So it does seem like right now that we're continuing to pull back as far as energies. So these outside markets still are giving more of a negative tone around commodities. Livestock, fat cattle up about 20 to 30 cents. Finding a little bounce today. Box beef came in mixed. Choice up 23, select down 78. Cash cattle did trade today. Nebraska traded steady. Nothing yet as far as Kansas and Texas. Expected to see steady trade there as well, but nothing yet as far as those areas. Hogs up 35 today. In the August, July up about 65 cents. Finding a little support after a big pullback yesterday. Iowa, Minnesota prices here at the midday. We saw the midday price up sharply, $1.63 higher. But wholesale prices have been absolutely crushed here in the last 6 days, down about $10. We're still seeing cash trade a little bit lower, and we do expect that to continue this slide that it's on right now. So these rallies that we're seeing in hogs, we're still looking at them as selling opportunities yet. So a lot of information today. Guys, I hope you had a good week. We're going to probably see this volatility continue. Sunday night, the weather maps are going to be extremely important. So, keep up with those. Take a look and see how much rain we've gotten around the country. That's going to give you a good idea on how we're going to open Sunday night. But feel free to give us a call with questions, 800-262-7538, or check us out right on the web at allendale-inc.com. Hope you guys had a good week. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.